like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, heck, we're even on TikTok. We're excited to engage with you. We hope you'll join us moving forward.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Market Mindset. Today, we're catching up with Chris Berlet, who's running the president, CEO of Canuc Resources. And we've spoken to you a bunch of times about your project. And listen, we need to catch up because it's got lots of merit. And I think you've got some news for us. So why don't you run us through the thesis and let us know where you're at right now.
Okay, Andrew, thanks. Yeah, great to see you. Happy New Year. So the thesis started to change in 2020. We found magnetite, Dr. Murray Hitzman report. And so we're after what we think can be IOCG intrusive at San Javier. And getting very close to it, we think, now in 2022. We had a lot of delays in 2021, but some due to COVID, like lab turnaround times were 126 days was the longest it took us for assays. So that kind of stuff going on, and drilling had some delays. But we have 2 drills in there now, a much larger drill to carry on and complete our hole number 4. We think we're getting very close to this intrusive, and everything we saw in 2021 confirmed our thesis, or most of what we saw. We saw some significant things in 2021 that confirmed our thesis. Most importantly, we saw that the silver mineralization, we have very high-grade silver veins there, silver and magnetite. And then there's these magnetic anomalies that we're drilling now in the north. And the silver comes in the form of a silver halide, which is not common in Cordillera, but is more consistent with this IOCG type model. So we're talking about silver chlorides, bromides, fluorine, silver fluoride, and iodide, and they're not common in Cordillera. And so you have here a dominant form of silver is in these silver halides, 80% plus, which suggests to us this is consistent with this IOCG mineralogy.
So now you touched on the COVID thing. I mean, it's hard to know what's going to happen in the future, but everyone's had to adapt very quickly to it. Are there any things you've kind of done in anticipation of this? Or I know that the labs are backed up. I know, like, we've touched on a couple of things, but is there anything else you foresee coming in the future here?
Yeah, Omicron is definitely here. We certainly don't want to bring any more risk for anybody, employees, or the town of San Javier. We are very careful with all of our COVID protocols. They have a couple of the folks have Omicron there now, and so we've scaled out all of our crews that are not from San Javier. We employ in the Hito as much as possible. They're residents there. They're going to stay there, but we're extremely careful about there is Omicron here. It's obviously makes everything. It creates limitations in our travel.
Sure.
And there are consequences for drilling crews, consequences for assay lab turnaround times, things of that nature. And we live with it. We do what we need to do.
No, and I think that's good because it's part of the ever-developing ESG story. And I think investors kind of get aligned with that you're doing not only the right thing morally, but also, I mean, you don't need sick crews. You don't need sick people going back home and making people sick. These are things that social governance is so important, and seeing people embrace that on the business end, at the mining end. I think when we translate that to investors too, to be a bit more patient, that listen, we're fighting through this thing right now, and some things are beyond our control. It's going to take a bit more time to get things done normally than we usually could.
It takes more time for sure, and there's no, we do what we can. None of us are medical professionals. But we follow the protocols that are recommended, and we make sure that's going on. We don't spend any more time there than we have to when we don't have to. Our crews that are not from there. Yeah.
So walk me through what if someone's looking at it today and they're going to look like with fresh eyes. They go, okay, it's 2022. What am I looking at? What's some near term milestones, or what should I be looking at right now to get me excited about Canuc?
Okay, so everything we saw in 2021 was consistent with our basic thesis of IOCG potential here. If we have an IOCG discovery in 2022, it'll be big news.
Yeah.
We're in hole number 4. We have a much bigger drill in there now, long year L230, whatever it is. But anyways, down past 1,000 meters, and there's pewtoronite, this form of copper that comes with nickel and cobalt. Again, not common in Cordillera, but consistent with IOCG. We see that through. We've seen chalcopyrite. We've seen some bornite, but chalcopyrite, chalcocite. We've seen this pewtoronite down through 1,000 meters on and off, in through sediments we see evidence of contact metamorphism. So the first thing, Andrew, be hole number 4 hitting an intrusive by March, let's say March, April. Second is our other drill is still there, now drilling a magnetic anomaly off of where we have very high silver numbers in magnetite.
Yeah.
And that anomaly comes to within 90 meters of surface, so we'll be in it fast. Also by March, I would say. Potential for that. If we hit massive magnetite, the magnetite above it has bonanza grades of silver in it. And the anomaly's big. It's in the hundreds of meters. So workings there go down maybe 60 meters from about the time of 1905, 1910 time frame. But it turns out down at 90 meters is a major magnetic anomaly near to where this magnetite comes to surface with very high grades of silver in it, in the form of this silver halides. So those are two. And then the third is this: there's a very large gold copper zone that we've now traced over almost 3 kilometers. And we've done a bunch of trenching. We started making releases on that in August of last year. That's a new kind of a discovery, a new feature, precedes the Barranca group. So that could play out this year into something also very substantial, very interesting for us. So there's some, there's at least three major catalysts, 2 in the near term and 1 that's ongoing throughout, that can catalyze recognition of major value for San Javier, for this San Javier project. A market cap of the company is about 18 million.
Yeah.
So metal inventory and IOCGs is many multiples of that. So if we're successful in proving that the metals that are seen here, that are seen in the mine workings and in the resources that are to the south and to the east of us, with the other 2 public companies that are here, if we're successful in proving IOCG orgenesis, then it'll be a very significant outcome for San Javier this year. And we think we're getting close with with our activities. He's drilling.
I love these deeply technical thesis, and this certainly is, but it's also the blue sky potential. Like, that's what people really get excited about, that type of stuff. It's not just it's economic. It's like, no, we're sniffing around at some big stuff here. And when you hit those milestones, especially on the technical side, there's no guarantees in life, but it certainly gets one a little bit more excited whenever you're hitting some of those indications or those kind of those hints.
There's lots of very compelling arguments about the property. And Andrew, one of the other things that I should just point out, we have cash flow. We've got cash flow from natural gas wells in Texas, a pipeline right on the property, 8 producing wells. Gas prices are doing very well.
Yes.
We don't have debt, so we're just we're careful. The purpose of cash flow is to protect ourselves from unnecessary share issuance and unnecessary dilution, and we might augment that cash flow. We're always looking for opportunities to do that in a small scale that would allow us to protect our treasury shares while we pursue significant discovery potential. And we think San Javier has that. Like I've said, like our website says, there's lots of all the information we've put out. Many of the things that we uncovered in 2021 confirmed that thesis, and we're getting very close to it, I think, this year.
Excellent. I'm glad you brought that up, because it's so important to see a company that really is keeping their share structure tight, to give the best opportunity for not only the first investors, but even investors like walk in today. It gives them a real good shake at a big possible win.
Thank you, Andrew. Great.
Thanks, Chris. I really appreciate the update. Enjoy Mexico. Keep safe. And we're going to keep our eyes peeled for any news releases.
Okay, Andrew. Thank you very much indeed. Once again. Happy New Year, bud.
Happy New Year.